As I've pointed out in previous chapters, the purpose of architecture is to act as our second skin, to nourish our spirit, as does nature, so we can feel in our buildings as we feel in nature. Again stating, sacred geometry is a study of patterns that create spirit in the world, that spirit being the Spirit of God. There's a second part to that definition, in that once you begin the study of sacred geometry, it's an initiation process. Other avenues of information open up as you proceed in the study. Plato said it's easy. Just copy the geometry of the universe into your architecture to get nature, spirit into your architecture. There were 4 sources of information I used to compile this presentation. 1 is The Ancient Secret of the Flower of Life by Batholomew-Architect. 2nd was Back to the Future for Mankind by Dr. Ibrahim Karim, founder of biogeometry. 3rd was The Emerald Tablets of Thoth by Durrell. And 4th is my memory of my life, my time in the Great Pyramid. I'll try to distinguish during this presentation which is which source is which. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth discuss the Great Pyramid in detail. According to the Emerald Tablets, the Great Pyramid was built 36,000 years ago by Thoth. Thoth was the spiritual leader of Atlantis. He left before the Great Flood, taking his people in a boat similar to the story of Noah in the Bible, the biblical story of Noah. He landed in what was supposed to have been Egypt and built the Great Pyramid. Again, 36,000 years ago. The Great Pyramid was built not as a burial chamber for anybody. It was built as a chamber of ascension to higher states of spiritual consciousness. It was built as a gift to mankind to last throughout eternity, to teach them ascension to higher states of spiritual consciousness. Dr. Karim discusses the design of the Great Pyramid in his book, Back to a Future for Mankind. Dr. Karim points out that the pure shape of the pyramid creates what's called vertical negative green energy. It's a very harmful, deadly energy. In actuality, the Great Pyramid has 8 sides, not 4. Each of the sides has a very shallow valley, like a 3 or 4 degree valley, creating 8 sides. This breaks up that vertical negative green energy. What that also does, it creates a 8-pointed base, which is a star pattern. This star pattern creates a suggested point of rotation, a center point of rotation. This center point of rotation creates a still point within the pyramid, a point beyond space and time, a point where celestial bodies, celestial entities communicate with the Great Pyramid itself. As Dr. Karim pointed out in his book, the geometric configuration resonated with the spiritual life attributes, which are integral dormant aspects in all forms of energy, and the building became alive. That's a quote from Dr. Karim. Dr. Karim also points out that the Great Pyramid is perfectly aligned with the north-south axis on the grid of the earth. This puts the pyramid in direct communication with the spiritual earth grids. The Emerald Tablets state that Thoth left the Great Pyramid 36,000 years ago and descended to the center of the earth. When I first read that, I didn't doubt it, I didn't believe it, I just thought, let's wait and see. Recently, there have been information come out about subterranean structures underneath the Great Pyramid. Could be that's where Thoth descended to. As Thoth left, he left the Hathors in charge of the initiation process within the Great Pyramid. The design quality of the Great Pyramid enabled it to enter into an exchange of spiritual information with its users forever. In my studies of the Great Pyramid, I discovered that the design is based upon a cube. The slope of the sides resting on the cube create the slope of the sides. That slope resonates the ratio of phi to the center of the Great Pyramid. That center is also that center point of rotation created by the star pattern of the base of the Great Pyramid. The design of the Great Pyramid is based upon, as I mentioned, the core cube. The slope is not based upon any number of degrees. It is that 3, 4, 5 triangle radiating and generating the energy of phi to the center of the Great Pyramid. The cube, inherent in that shape, are all 5 platonic solids radiating energy in the center of the cube. This is important. Again, the slope of the side is based upon the 3, 4, 5 triangle, not degrees. The initiation process to higher states of consciousness was conducted by the High Hathor priest. The Hathor priest would receive the initiatee coming up the long corridor, jumping over the threshold, lying in the stone coffer, the granite coffer. The Hathor would begin the process of sound. The 5 voids above the coffer in the chamber were for sound resonance. It's what the Hathor priest used to generate the sound to initiate and ascend the initiatee to higher states of consciousness. This initiation process by the High Hathor priest is my information. It's what I remember. A small detail from my memory. I was asked one time by a close friend, why is the entry to the Great Pyramid so high above the desert floor? My response was to get above the floodwaters. Remember, I stated that Thoth got there after a flood in Atlantis. These are busts, sculpture busts, column capitals in Egypt of the Hathor priest, the priest that Thoth left in charge of the initiation process. A small interesting detail, as Thoth left the Great Pyramid, he left what resembles the 10 Commandments, Moses' 10 Commandments, very, very, very similar, and said, these are the rules we must live by. If you don't, I'll come back and wreak havoc on the earth. Perhaps this is what's happening right now as the earth's going through dramatic changes.